Oh, it's not working. Roger. Activate elevator 3224.
Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another mock showcase on the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Invisible Hand by DarthDesigner. This model has been a highly anticipated mock that I've wanted to make pretty much ever since I created this channel alongside the Venator, and now that I have it, it is glorious and I want to show it to you all today. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this. I do want to give a disclaimer, as I said before, this is by DarthDesigner. I will put a link to the Rebrickable page in the description. The instructions were $8. I did make some of my own modifications and I will point them out as we go along, but this is about 90% of his design. So just, keep that in mind when you're watching this video. So this model has about 450 parts. It is a MIDI scale design, which makes it great for display and also for detail, so you don't have to have those massive UCS sets. You can have one of these and pair it with some of your other favorite capital ships. He also has a Venator in the similar scale. If you're interested in that, you can check it out as well. But really, we're going to just go over this today. I want to show you some of the details and just tell you why I think this is such a great model. So one of the hardest things about this particular ship is the shaping. It is a very unique and curved shape where there's not much you can do with the Lego bricks, especially as you get smaller and smaller in scale, and have it still look like the actual source material. But I really think DarthDesigner did a great job in capturing a lot of the angles, and I tried to stay as true to that as possible. Now, pointing out a couple things, use of the blue 1x2 slope pieces here. Now that was mainly because I did not have them in that color, the dark blue, and it is kind of a preference. Which one do you want? I personally do not mind the regular blue. I think it looks fine. You can see it's on the top and also on the bottom there. So I was okay with that. It wasn't a big deal. But some of the other things, there's some slight curvature differences in the uses of parts here. I used like a 1x3 wedge or whatever that is. And then also this cheese slope piece here. I used a slightly different part on some of the greebling things like here and here and along the back. One of the things that may be hard to pick up on camera, but this is actually studs. These are translucent blue studs, and I'll pick this up just to kind of show you. You can kind of see it. It's a little, again, it's a little hard to see on camera. It's also kind of a dark environment where I'm in right now, but there is some translucent blue, and that's like the shield for the hangar bay. So that looks pretty nice. And it was, again, slightly different to his. He used just plates, and I used the studs. One of the things I really loved about this model, though, was the interior design. And by interior, I kind of made like the middle section, so you can kind of see like all the little details, the studs and the greebling. I think it looks so good when it's all together. And even on the bottom, there's some pretty substantial details. We can take this off the stand here, and I'll show you that in a second. So you can see here's the stand. We'll take a look at that later. So taking a look at the bottom, you can see some of the different curves that he used. Again, I really like a lot of the shaping he used for this design. it stays true to the design on the bottom there for most of it. One thing that I did change, particularly on the front here, you can see the nose of the ship, and we can get another good look there. The nose, I used this little piece here instead. He had a slightly different piece. Again, just kind of comes down to what parts I had available. And I use also a slightly different piece here. This is the only thing I don't like about his design, was he used a clip with a, it was actually like a half slope piece. It wasn't like the translucent square. I just used this because I had it, and it also, I thought it looked good with that translucent green for the, that's supposed to be like the command center where you see General Grievous in the movie. And I was pretty happy with that. I think this in canon is like some type of, it's not, it's a different material to the rest of the ship, which is why, you know, it has kind of this black appearance, which is kind of neat. But on the top, you can also see all the different greeblings. I love these pieces here. I think those do a really good job. Also, this piece here is just a lever arm, and that works pretty well. Again, some different greeblings, some vents on the top, and some more great sloping and piece usage along the bottom. Just regular slopes, and the dorsal fins there, the fins. This is the bridge where we see Chancellor Palpatine and Count Dooku. Obviously, it's, you know, not really to scale. It's on a total different section. And then taking a look at the back here, you can kind of get a look at the engines. So the engine design on mine is actually different. I used, again, slightly different design. The main engine, I believe, is the same, the one in the center. I did use different pieces there, the cone pieces for the side panel. And I was happy with that. I actually like my design a little bit better than his, just because I think it gets some of the shaping right if you look at like some of the source material. But again, it was really just a preference and what I had available there. So again, some slight differences, and you guys, when you buy the instructions, you can go through and see some of the differences for yourself. But you know, we got that. And then here's the other side. It is symmetrical for the most part on both sides. I think there are slight variations in like the pieces here. Like there's, you can see some of the studs and some of the other pieces that are sticking out. And then again, there's the other hangar bay. The only drawback to those engines is they are only connected by one single stud. I don't know if that can, yeah, there it is. So you can only see it's held on by that one single connection, which means it does fall off occasionally if you knock it off. So, you know, you can't swing this around too roughly, but at the same time, it also does a pretty good job. So again, here's just kind of a size look at it. I mean, relative to my hands, it's a pretty good size. I like the size of this. It is, you know, it's not too small, but it's big enough to get the details and, you know, still not take up like an entire shelf. Like you can fit other stuff with this, and I hope I will get some pretty good shots here next to my Venator and stuff. But there's one more thing I want to show you on this, and I think it's such a subtle thing, but it makes the set so much more enjoyable to build. And also, there's one subtle thing that makes this set fantastic, in my opinion, and it is actually a play feature, if you will. So you can kind of see, just based on the shaping of this ship, there's, you know, in the movie, obviously they lose half the ship after they have the fight with the Venator, and when Anakin and Obi-Wan are trying to land it, it, you know, breaks in half. And this actually has a feature where the entire thing breaks in half. So I can just pull this off just like that, and you can see that it's connected by some Technic pins. And yeah, so then you can, you know, have the break it off, and then you're flying half a ship So that was really cool. And he actually, I think, and some of his pictures on Rebrickable had some like flames coming out the back, which is pretty neat. But that is such a minor play feature, but one that I think is so great, and I was very happy that he included it. But I also think it makes for a good construction process, because you do, like, I think you start with the back and then you go to the front and then you just attach it, and it's very satisfying once you get the final shot there. So this is an incredible design. I really didn't think I'd own anything like this in my collection, because it is such a unique ship and it's very hard to recreate in Lego, but this is one set that I am just ecstatic about to have. I love this ship in universe, and I wish that Lego would make it as an actual set. I really liked the Invisible Hand, mainly because it's from Revenge of the Sith, but again, this is a great model. If you're interested in the instructions, $8 I thought was fair. I didn't think it was, you know, outrageous, but at the same time, it's like, just support the designer. They put in the time, the effort to build this thing. As far as parts availability, there are some older parts. I felt that, you know, he had an older design that used parts that were really out of date. This uses a lot of parts that are modern, and I think a lot of people will have on hand, which is really nice. And I think this is something that a lot of people will be able to build. So again, $8 for instructions. I think it's a great deal. I think also you're getting a really awesome display piece. If you want to see some of the more in-close details, you know, I have obviously some more shots of this, and you can kind of pause at you will and figure out what I did differently. But overall, I'm really happy with this thing. I'll give you one last look at where it is on my shelf and how I display it. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like. It helps get this YouTube video in the algorithm. And also consider subscribing. I do post a lot of mock showcases on this channel, so if you're interested in that, consider joining. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video.